Hey, hey, hey! Welcome again to yet another episode in my channel. I remain your girl Chi Dazzle. And for those of you who have not subscribed yet, please click on the subscribe button. And those of you who are coming back again to my channel, you are very welcomed. At this time of the year, it's all about the COVID-19 and all of that. And some of us have been, having various expectations, and some of us have been isolating, some of us have been keeping social distancing. But luckily, this time, we are happy to announce that the easing off of the lockdown is beginning to take effect. So thankfully, we will all be getting our lives back to normal. Anyway, my topic today is about some challenges of living abroad and the huge expectations members of our families expect from us back home. Wow, this idea came to my head when I actually saw a video of people and a person and a friend of mine actually talking about people being stingy, who are people like, people abroad are being stingy to us giving things back home. Like, people here are expected to have all the money, people are expected to be able to provide a lot for the people back home. But my video today is to actually express the challenges people abroad live, the challenges that we face, and the challenges that people back home should actually take into consideration before making an assumption that people who live abroad have it all. Because no, we do not have it all. Living abroad is not as easy as people actually look at it. Living abroad has come with these huge challenges. I would call it, let's say, bittersweet. It comes with the sweetness, and it also comes with, with its bitterness. Sometimes living abroad, actually, if not all the time, living abroad can be very, very lonely. Unlike the place, for example, where I'm from, Nigeria, living you have like parties, you have like friends, families visit you all and unannounced. You have like people come around, you have like people who are there at your beck and call. You can actually have like people who can take care of your kids. You have like family members who are there to help you, who are there to run errands. But living abroad, it's totally different from all of this. We tend to do everything by ourselves. And this is no joke. Living abroad have its challenges, starting from loneliness to homesickness. People tend to want to go back home because sometimes you're at home, sometimes you're back, sometimes you spend like 2 weeks, a month at home, and you don't speak to your neighbors. Sometimes the time you see them are like when you come to throw the trash out, or maybe when you're around the neighborhood just working, taking a walk, and you see them and you just have I would call it the fake smile. And that's the only time that you get to see your neighbor. That's the only time that you get to actually even know who your neighbors are. This is absolutely bizarre, because this is not the things that people like us who live here, who came from back home to live in this country, actually are used to. We are used to a lot of people. We are used to so many people around us, people coming to us uninvited. We've got so many family members around us. How do you expect, or how do you think for a second that we actually get by? The loneliness is massive. The loneliness is nothing to write home about. And trust me, guys, I'm not sure it's something that you actually would want for yourself. Secondly, we will also get to talk about the second thing that people abroad have to go through. People here, sometimes, depending on the culture, depending on where you're coming from where I'm from, English is also like English is actually our first language. So in a way, it's easier for us to kind of blend in when we come here. But take, for example, people who are non-speaking countries are coming to the UK, to England, to US, to Canada, to Australia, and or to France, to France, and you expect them to learn or to actually adapt to the culture. You expect them to actually adapt to the language being used in this country. But what I'm saying to you is actually a huge deal adapting to a culture that is totally brand new to you, and also a language that is brand new to you. For people like us who are probably from Nigeria or from English speaking countries, it's quite easier, but not too easy with the culture, because learning how the culture works, how the place works, and how the principles and the policy is a huge deal. Then we now talk about the food aspects. Well, yes, food is cheap abroad, you can get, but not everything is cheap. For example, someone like me who actually likes to eat eba, like the Nigerian will call it, or who would like to eat abacha, or who would like to eat nkwobi. Those things are kind of the Nigerian food I will crave for sometimes. And sometimes when I do crave for these things, I can't find them here, or even when I do, it is very expensive. And I'm thinking, why would I want to spend all that money to just have a plate of nkwobi or a plate of eba, or a plate of eba, or a plate of egusi soup or okra soup, when I can just buy burger, chicken and chips, lasagna, mashed potato, roast beef, and all of that. It is very difficult. We Nigerians, or we foreigners who have come to live here, actually, we crave our food back home. We really want to have a taste of this food back home from time to time, but sometimes it's very difficult. All of this is a huge challenge for us as well. We don't tell you that. You see us, we eat the chips, we smile, we take selfies, we do all of that, and you think everything is going well for us, but no, it is not. Another thing that we need to also consider is the money end and the bills to be paid in this country. My brothers and my sisters out there, it is a huge deal. More often than not, people who live here work their socks off every day just to make sure they have got the money to pay their bills. Unlike places back home where, I'll give an example. In Nigeria, you can actually live in a 2-bedroom terrace house or 3-bedroom terrace house, and you could pay roughly between 300 to maybe 600, 700,000 naira, and this is in naira, and not we're not talking about in pounds, and you pay that for 1 year. People who live abroad pay about 400 pounds to about 800 pounds living in the same kind of house. You do the mathematics and tell me how much that is. So you have to walk your socks off just to be able to make that kind of amount of money, not only to pay your house rent. You've got your gas, you've got your electricity, you've got your grocery stores, you've got your groceries to do, you've got your kids, you've got clothes, you've got shopping, you've got lots of other bits and bobs that you would need to do for the month. And all of this have to come out from your earnings in a month. Man, this is no joke. We work our socks off. Sometimes I call, for example, I ring back home. I want to speak to my mom, my dad, my siblings, or even friends back home. And at 5 o'clock in the evening, they're all at home, relaxing and having fun with their families. But somebody like me, who does regular shift from 7 o'clock in the morning to 8 p.m., will still be at work. And not only are we at work, we are working hard. In this country, if you don't work, you don't eat. So look at the comparison. We work our socks off every day, and sometimes we barely have the time to spend with our families. We don't, because we come back at 8 o'clock, for example, and we are trying to get ready for the next day, see our loved ones for a few hours before bedtime. We go to bed, and you're back up again at 6 o'clock to leave at 7 o'clock. You do this for the number of days that you're supposed to work. Tell me, what time have you got for your family? This is actually depressing, if you ask me. You've got no time for your family. You've got no time for yourself. You've got no time because all you do is work, pay bills, work, and always pay the bills. People back home do not understand this. They think, oh, well, they see you standing at a Eiffel Tower, or they see you, wearing the Marks and Spencer clothes, and you're taking a selfie here and there, and they think, oh, well, she's doing well for herself. Oh, she's got the money. Oh, she's flaunting it. Oh, she needs to send the money back home. We are the ones suffering. No, we are the ones who are actually suffering. But we don't complain because at the end of the day, don't get me wrong, people back home actually do have their own issues. People are back home do have a like have a hard time as well. But trust me when I say people who live abroad do the same thing. So we have it hard, we have it really difficult, and we just get on with it. I would say just the same way people back home will also get on with life and just leave and smile and take pictures as of when, and just try to make yourself happy. Also, I would also like to say people over here try to create happiness from themselves just to avoid depression or loneliness, because living abroad is a huge challenge. So back home, any one of you who for a second think that living abroad is a honey thing, or it's sugar and honey, trust me, my darlings, it is not, because we've got our own price to pay for having the fancy, for wearing the fancy clothes, for putting on the fancy makeup, for having our hair done, for paying our bills. We have to work our socks off for all of that. I would also let you know this. Any one of you at home who've got huge expectations for people who live abroad, I would let you know that from today henceforth, I need you to please take that ideology off your head, because it does not work that way and it doesn't appear just as it seems. We work our ass off to pay bills. We work our ass off to have time for ourselves, to have time for families. So whatever we try to send back home to you, could you please, just a little bit, be appreciative rather than grumble, or people say, oh, you're stingy, or people say, oh, she's got everything and she refuses to give it to us. No, we give you the much we have. Sometimes we go as far as giving you much more than we would actually want to give you, just because of what you're going to say. And at the end of the day, we come back and we try to, I would say, like the Nigerian way, I'll try to say, you try to minimize the things that you do just to be able to cope for that period of time. So I'm going to tell you, everybody out there who lives abroad has his own challenges, just as much as people back home have their challenges. So please be appreciative of the little things that your family who live abroad sends to you, because we go way out of our comfort zone to do that. And we do not need you judging us, because it's not fair. It's not, because we do all the things we do to make sure we are happy for ourselves, and we're also providing for you, and also be happy for ourselves. Because trust me, you see a lot of people these days in mental health hospitals. They're actually there because of loneliness, depression. They've got nobody to talk to. They work their socks off all the time, and they just get fed up. And you know what? That's it. They are in a mental hospital, in a mental asylum, just trying to get all that away from their head, just trying to be human again. So please, for everybody out there who thinks for a second that people living abroad has got it all, and while we are also stingy and not providing for you, please get that ideology out of your head, because we work hard and we try as much as possible to please you, also to provide for our families back home. So please learn to be appreciative of the little things that we offer. I'll see you in my next video, and I hope I'm able to convince some of us who actually think that people who live abroad are stingy, because honestly, we aren't. We're just trying to make ends meet, just as you are back home. I'll see you in my next video. Please keep safe. Don't forget to subscribe. You can actually send your comments below and I'll respond as soon as I can. I'll see you in my next video. Keep safe, keep smiling, and I'll see you. Bye-bye.